Welcome to Mainland, your local regional television station. I'm Graham O'Brien, and some of the stories coming up in today's news. Endurance is the key to God's Own adventure racing for Cure kids. Dirty Muddy Buddies, bringing in the funds, No Dad's Army Parade, and more. The Met Service issued a severe weather warning on Friday for heavy rain for northwest Nelson, leaving Nelson Tasman Civil Defence and Emergency Management putting out the call to be vigilant. The rain event warning, however, didn't put any dampener on the God's Own adventure race, which kicked off last Saturday at midday. Local team Motueka was in 11th place at midday Monday. Chrissy Small was at last Friday's press conference on the evening before race started with Team 7, the Cure for Kids team. The team is made up of team leader New Zealand Rugby Players Union CEO Rob Nichol and fellow team members New Zealander of the Year Richie McCaw, changing codes for the first adventure race. Former Blues player Ben Meyer and adventure racer Sarah Fairmaid. Rob Nichols said the Cure Kids is the team's main motivator for racing the God Zone.
Well, it started last year when we decided that we wanted to take on this adventure, and because it was myself and Ben in the team last year, and we had Sia Svenningsson, who was fantastic. We learnt a lot from her. And then we had Ian Jones, Camo, and we wanted a greater cause. So Cure Kids have had a long association with New Zealand Rugby, obviously, and we really like what they're about. They're about kids for a start, which is we're always pretty passionate about from a rugby perspective and a player perspective, and we love the approach they have of trying to find solutions. So their money's about targeting research that helps diseases, illnesses, and I suppose things that affect kids. So it's really appealing, and it fitted nicely with God's Own. So it came about, it was cool, it went really well. I think we raised somewhere around the $70,000 mark last year and had an absolute ball doing the race. A few dramas here and there, and but it was great. And then it was like, okay, that's it, we'll relax. But Richie's always shown an interest in doing this. Ben was very keen to do it again. Camo had some other challenges this year around wanting to do a thing for epilepsy. He'll probably be back doing this next year. And Sia's obviously got a great opportunity to race with Chris Vaughan this year. So basically, July last year, Richie said, yep, I'm in, it's got to have something to do after the World Cup, and so that sort of convinced me to jump in. He's laughing because he'll say it's the other way around. Ben is one phone call away, and so he's straight in, and then we were really, really fortunate to get Sarah alongside, and that's the, she's the strength in this team if we've got one, so to speak. So it's fantastic to have her here. And in terms of the campaign for Cure Kids, we started off, just to give you a bit of background, we started off with a dinner about 3 weeks ago, and we raised $287,000 that night. Black tie dinner in Auckland. It was fantastic, went really well, and I just got a text through before, and I think we're up over 291 now, and if we can get up through text donations, God's Own at 933, somewhere around the 350 mark, we'll be absolutely stoked. So that's a great cause, that's a great motivator, and there's some really nice stories around the Cure Kids. The other side of it is it's a challenge, and all four people who are sitting here are kind of mentally and physically stimulated by trying to take it on, one step at a time, and sit Warren in his place as the race director, and hopefully have a beer with him afterwards to say thanks, we nailed that.
Richie, have you ever done anything like that with any of your teams that you've been involved with before, Crusaders or All Blacks, or anything like pre-season stuff? For long periods of time?
Back in the early days, I think we were with Canterbury and Crusader teams. We did a big sort of 24 hours of stuff, and to be honest, just about broke half the guys. But the boys actually, it was about 2011 or 12 before the All Blacks came back. Crusaders got taken out by some of the Army boys from Burnham. I think they went through 36 hours non-stop, and we'd quite like to have been there. I was a bit disappointed to miss it really, but some of the stories about who were the guys that could handle that and couldn't was quite interesting. So you haven't done too much of it.
You don't care to share who couldn't handle it?
I'm not going to really name names.
Apparently the Whitelock boys just went chasing pigs everywhere. That's all they wanted to do the whole 36 hours. Yeah, drove your teammates around.
Usually backs. The forwards are alright. They come into their own. Hey.
So how much training will you have done leading up to this?
Reasonable amount. Yeah. Benny just goes into the white tax and gets lost.
Tend to ride to work and all, because I can get there quicker than driving. So.
So just a bit of bike riding, and that's all you need to do.
Riding, No, just smash the legs. Just keep hurting your legs.
Yeah. I asked Sarah that back in December. I said, "What do you do training-wise?" She said, "Just keep going up and down hills."
Pretty much. That's pretty much what we've done. Yeah. You always want to do more. We did a 24-hour race 3 weeks ago on the Coromandel. That was really good. And I think when you're together for a period of time training as a group, as a team, it's really valuable. And as soon as you actually can get everyone's lives to collide to allow to do that, you immediately think, oh wow, it would have been cool to do some other missions together. But I know Richie linked up with a couple of the other teams out of Christchurch. Sarah's always training with the crazy people down in Wanaka. And we just battle traffic in Auckland as good as anything. Yeah.
Richie, Rob said that you've been wanting to do this for some time. What is it about adventure racing that appeals for you?
I wanted it myself, to be honest.
That's probably what appeals to you.
I think just you get curious, and I guess I followed them, especially last year down in Wanaka, how they were going, and I guess it's a question of can you handle it, you know. That's the bit that I gets me going, is you don't know, and until you go and give it a crack, you won't know. And I suppose you open yourself up to fail too, you know. By not doing it, you could always say, oh yeah, I could do that, but actually get into the start line, say I'm in, and then you find out. And I know, to me that's what gets gets you going. And I guess with finishing up playing rugby, I knew I needed a new challenge or something else that, one, satisfied the competitive side, and secondly satisfied keeping fit, having a reason to do that. And I suppose some people said, well, you could have just sort of dipped your toe in the water, sort of jumped right in, but that's sort of what I guess has excited me as well. And I guess the other thing you miss too is the team side of things. When you're playing rugby all the time, you always got a team and there's a fair bit you miss out on when you're not in the team. And I guess being able to do this as a part of a team satisfies that side of things. So a whole number of things. But you don't want to look back one day and say, oh, I wish I'd done that. So had an opportunity with some people that knew what they were doing, so I thought, why not?
Well, we just come back from the house, and my mother and a couple of her friends are there, and they spend the morning cooking up bacon. And so we've just packed a whole lot of bacon into Ziploc bags and stuck them in our food bags. So we don't know if that's going to be the magic food, but Sarah reckons. Hey Sarah, you reckon that's a good part?
Day 3 will be gone.
Potato chips too.
Potato chips, yeah.
Rob, obviously you raced your best one last year at God's Own and Cure Kids. What did you do in that race that you passed on to Richie for his first time? You got Sarah for the experience. Is there one thing that stood out to you guys that you really learned a lot from that you applied to this race, or you told Richie about?
Yeah, I'll go first, Ben, and you can. The main one we learned, and I think we talked about it on the pizza range last year, and it was pretty rough up the top. And we actually stopped and we came together as a group and said, look, this is what it's about. This is why we're here. Like, this is tough going, and it doesn't matter who you are. It was tough up there. It was cool, and we just stopped and took a moment and said, this is why we're here. Let's just roll the sleeves up, one foot in front of the other, pick the bikes up, which is what we were doing at that stage, and just keep moving. Don't think 2 hours ahead. Don't think an hour ahead. Just do what's in front of you, and you get there. And that's the biggest learning we had, is not to think about the next stage, or not to start worrying about things that are outside your control. Do you think we'll be doing that full kayak or not? Do you think the weather's going to affect that kayak or not? You just focus on what you're doing right now. Try not to make any mistakes. Keep everyone engaged. Keep everyone working together. And that's the biggest thing I learned last year for sure.
Richie, what is the most, out of the course coming up, of course you don't know quite where you're going, but what is it that's got your anxiety levels when you think about it? What raises those?
I guess the big thing is, you get into situations like that, like as I talked about the briefing, it comes down to your decision. Just because they said to go over that hill doesn't mean it's the right thing to do or at the right time. You got to actually be aware that, so having not been in those situations where you're absolutely knackered and it's at night and you're in tough terrain, actually making sure that you keep safe, I suppose. That's the one that that I haven't really got myself been in those situations too many times. So I guess that's where we rely on the other guys. And the other one is, but like Rob said, look ahead to 150k, whatever one of the bike legs is. Like if you just look at that and think, wow, that's a long time on the bike, rather than just break it down to just keep the legs turning. Yeah, I suppose they're the ones that but hopefully we'll be okay.
Kaiteri on the edge of the Abel Tasman National Park hosted the God Zone squad of 71 teams involving 284 competitors and many more supporters. On Saturday's race day, hundreds of spectators and supporters were there overseeing the start line on the beachfront for the midday race start. Organisers are chuffed about the amount of spectator support teams have had from the public from the very first day of this endurance event, which has been for the first time hosted in our region. The 530-kilometre expedition course was designed by race director Warren Bates, who designed the course around the vast area of the Nelson Tasman region. On Saturday morning, competitors were issued with maps of the area and locator beacons, giving them a glimpse for the first time the terrain that they would be traversing over the following 7 days. The race offers 10 stages covering a variety of disciplines while traversing through 3 national parks. The team's first challenges came quickly on Saturday, from the start horn to racing down the beach, clamouring over rocks and then swimming to reach their 2-man kayaks for an awe-inspiring row through to Rabbit Island, where thrills and spills were abundant on the landing and the turbulent swells caused from the overnight storm. Teams then had to dry off, get on their bikes and start the beginning of their orienteering through a course set out on the island before they could head off to find their way into the Richmond Ranges on mountain bikes for the next stage of real endurance. Injuries have taken their toll in the God Zone adventure race, with 2 teams forced to pull out on Sunday. This comes as no surprise, as the event is known to have less than half the field complete the course in previous years. A medical evacuation was triggered just before 4 p.m. on Sunday by Team Monica CPR after the team member Mike Plimmer was unable to walk after suffering a knee injury while trekking in the Red Hills. The rest of his team are continuing on as a now unranked team on stage 3 of the 530-kilometre course through the Greater Tasman region. The Red Hills also offered up another casualty after the American team, Team Bones member Chris Barry, injured an ankle and suffered lacerations in a fall in the tricky terrain. The team was located just below Porters Creek Hut. They continued walking down the Te Arawa Trail Monday morning towards the race transition area at Top House near St Arnaud. This gruelling race has been led all the way through by Team 31, Yelan's Family Wines team, who were at least 2 hours ahead of their closest rival team, number 17, Sword Fox, by the end of Sunday night, and were still hours ahead first thing on Monday morning, making their way by inflatable kayaks down the Matakikitaki River to Murchison. The Cure for Kids team with Richie McCall were in 28th place on Sunday night, and by midday on Monday that had changed to 23rd position from a field of 70 plus.
You can check out the 7-day God Zone World Adventure Race through the God Zone website, where you can see maps of the terrain and where the location of all the teams are in real time. You can track individual team movements and see where they have managed to get any rest. Donations to Cure Kids can also be made by texting GodZone 933 to donate $3. In an unrelated incident, the Nelson Marlborough Rescue Helicopter rescued a pair of trampers from the Mount Richmond Forest Park Sunday evening after one of the party fell approximately 6 metres onto rocks, sustaining arm and leg injuries. The pair had been tramping towards a mid-Wairoa hut when the accident happened, forcing them to activate their emergency locator beacon for help. The Nelson Marlborough Rescue Helicopter responded and located the pair in a creek bed at the bottom of a steep gorge. The onboard intensive care paramedic was lowered down to the scene, where he assessed and stabilised the injured man before he was lifted out of the gorge and flown to Nelson Hospital Emergency Department for further care. Council announced on Friday that everything had been set in place for the partial reopening of the Trafalgar Centre for the Nelson Giants basketball game held last Saturday evening, although it was still very much a construction site. In the issued press release, Mayor Rachel Reese thanked all the construction team and contractors who have worked so tirelessly to reach this milestone, saying that so much has been achieved already. The Trafalgar Centre is running behind its reopen date of March and total completion date of June this year. However, provisional bookings are currently being taken for events after August 2016. The road layout into the stadium has also been changed, with a new access road now coming off Parapara Road leading into the newly formed car park, which council assures users has room for the same amount of vehicles as the old one. Although the team changing rooms have been completed ahead of schedule and we're ready for the game, the other toilets are still a work in progress. However, the use of portaloos have been made available for stadium spectators just outside the building for the event. Local volunteer soldiers of the New Zealand Army Reserve Unit were joined by soldiers from around the South Island to march through the streets of Nelson in a chartered parade on Saturday afternoon. A chartered parade is where the battalion exercises its right and privilege to march through the streets of Nelson with drums beating, band playing, colours flying, swords drawn and bayonets fixed. The tradition dates back to the UK, where cities would confer on famous county regiments the so-called freedom of their corporation to celebrate the prowess of the regiment in battle. Soldiers of the 2-4 marched up Trafalgar Street accompanied by the New Zealand Army Band flying the Queen's and regimental colours, where they stopped at the church steps and were received by the Mayor for formal presentations. They then marched down Trafalgar Street and presented the regimental colours to council chambers, where Mayor Rachel Reese encouraged people to come to council chambers during the week to view the flag. This year's Tasman School fundraiser, run in conjunction with Sport Tasman, is looking like another huge success. Muddy Buddies was the fundraiser brainchild of Sport Tasman's Jodie Fa'ave when she and her husband Nathan's Fa'ave's children were attending Tasman School. The event has proven to be popular with local families, groups and businesses over the years, and apart from a slight course change 2 years ago, nothing much has changed. Chrissy Small was there on Sunday and caught up with Tasman School teacher Fred Robinson, who was on duty for the event.
Fred, look, what a great turnout today.
Oh, it's amazing. I couldn't believe it. There was only 300 online registrations. And we thought, wow, it's going to be down this year. But no, car parking just now, we couldn't get anybody else in there.
Yeah.
Just where we had Nigel, he squeezed them in like sardines. It was fantastic. So very, very full.
Right, and lots of family groups entering this year, I've noticed.
Yeah, big groups, like cousins and relatives and friends, yeah. It's good, swarms of bees, swarms of fairies, penguins, a bridal party, did you see that?
Yeah, I did, and I see there was Hell's Angels with Hell running beside them, or the devil.
Oh, yeah, that's right, with the angels.
Yeah,
yes.
no, so it's a really great turnout, and look, tell me, how many people do you think have entered this year? Any quick guesstimate?
I didn't count as they went past, but I would say be just the same as last year. I think be up there. I think 700-800 people. I'd say by the look of it. Yeah,
Nice.
They just kept on coming. It was a real huge stream, wasn't it, of people?
It was.
Yeah, looks good.
Now, last year, how much did you actually make out of this event?
I think it's about $13,000.
Right.
Yeah, 12 to 13. Yeah. Which all went towards extra computers, and also the playground.
So how many laps do they actually do here?
They do 1, 2 or 3.
So there's up to 3 laps.
Yep.
And is there a prize for them this year?
No, it's more spot prizes.
Yeah.
Spot prizes really is the thing. It's not so much a competition as in a cooperative fun event, And so it's more spot prizes and things like that, which happens for mountain bikes and things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, one of the concerns about running this event was the ecosystems in the estuary.
Yep.
Well, you could say that group of people are a bit of an ecosystem themselves, aren't they?
They are, that's right. I mean, this is one event over the year. It's 2-hour event over a whole year, and the school has been monitoring the return of the snails and the crabs.
Yes.
And it's down a wee bit, but not much. Okay, and also, it's a huge area, so we also collect the rubbish from down there. We do estuary planting as well, so we are monitoring and planting the situation. So yeah,
Right.
It's fantastic.
Fred, we've got Jodie Fa'ave. She's really, it was one of her brainchilds, this event, wasn't it?
Yes.
Nathan, of course, is involved in God Zone, which took off yesterday.
Yep.
It's a real weekend for sports.
Isn't it? This sort of sport, which is fun. It's a fun sport, isn't it?
Yeah.
The God Zone's another story altogether, isn't it? It's very competitive and very grueling.
Well, you never know. There might be some future competitors here in the God Zone coming up.
Get a taste from it here, and away they go in God Zone next time.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be in the Tasman area, but away they go. But yeah,
it's
a lot
great.
of activity happening.
Yeah. Okay, so any thoughts about what the money will go to raise from this event?
Probably go to
suggestions?
similar things. Probably go to more into IT again, but especially I think Joe likes to go towards the playground. equipment, and those sort of feed into the school. Yeah. We have the art auction, which works towards artists in residence and art pieces, and this one goes more to the activities of the school. Go towards the IT possibly, and the playground activities as well.
Right.
And maybe even some money might go to sponsor some children to go to camp. Yeah. From camps as well.
Okay, well there's been a bit of a change in health and safety laws. Will that stop you guys from what you do with the camp?
There's always things that happen with camps. There's always RAMS forms to fill out. There's always more forms to fill out. Once you've ticked all the boxes and it's okay with the Board of Trustees, we can go. So there is more paperwork to do. That's just the nature of society today. The beast, that's right. Yeah. So no, we won't stop this sort of thing because it's so good for kids.
It is.
And families.
It is. And it brings people together, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. This is a good day. Fantastic day.
So, what was it like for those competing? Chrissy Small asked some of those making their way from the estuary to the finish line.
Was that fun? Awesome? Excellent. So how was that? How's the bridal party faring? Was that enough mud? Hey, what was your highlight, guys? Think you'll be doing round 2?
We did round 2.
Oh, coming back?
Yeah.
You gonna do it again? Was that good fun? Are you going round again?
No.
After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
We're the team at JCar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics toys,
sound systems, cables, and much, much more. JCar.
120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
Welcome me hearties to Smuggler's Pub and Cafe, famous for hearty meals, craft ales and a friendly service way. Sensational seasonal menus with meals all day and evening too, or sail in for a snack with special menus for young smugglers and you. Settle in for a jolly old time, relax and enjoy our award-winning dining and lovely fine wine. Decked out in an old worldly way, we're open 7 days. Book or come on in to 8 Muritai Street, not far from the beach, walk or swim. Phone 5464
Hi there, Julian Toon, Waimea Telecommunications. We install and maintain domestic and commercial satellite TV, UHF Freeview and Mainland TV installations in the Nelson, Tasman regions. We specialise in Panasonic telephone systems and provide communications, Wi-Fi, IT and wiring for internet, fibre, computers and DSL systems. At Waimea Telecommunications, we also provide specialist electronic systems for features such as a security camera you can watch on your TV, visitor alert systems and much more. Improve your security and communication and entertainment today. Call us on Waimea Telecommunications on 021 472297, ytel.co.nz.
World War I was a defining period in our history, impacting greatly on the lives of people from the Nelson province. Memories of the First World War is an exhibition which will be displayed in a number of regional venues and is currently on at the Nelson Provincial Museum.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979? So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
Victory 60 Plus is on Tuesdays at 1:30 through to 3:30 p.m. at 238 Upper Vanguard Street. You can join in for cards, games and a cuppa.
Sit and Be Fit is on at the Victory Community Centre Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. at the Victory Community Church, 238 Upper Vanguard Street. School terms only. Fun while you get fitter, work at your level. On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us, and we'll bring you the latest news and events from around the region again tomorrow.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
G'day, it's your old mate the Mad Butcher, and you're watching Mainland TV.
Welcome to Smugglers Pub and Cafe, open 7 days a week with free parking all day. Our lunch menus have that old-fashioned flavour where we treat you like treasure with the food you'll savour. We cater for children, grannies and granddads too, with special rates and privileges given to the elderly lunchtime crew. Our staff are friendly and kind and want to see you all come back time after time.
Daytime or evening, it doesn't matter. Give us a call on 546 4084 and we'll be happy to spoil ya.
Nelson Tire Center. Great prices, great service. Buy your own Bryford trailer. All types, all sizes. See Colin Douglas for your tires and batteries.
Are you looking for a scooter, walker, wheelchair, baby seats or pushchairs? Then come in and see the Nelson Region Specialist at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library. We have a huge selection of scooters, walkers, wheelchairs and accessories, along with a free booklet guide. We also provide a breakdown service if you ever get a puncture or a flat battery. We have fully equipped service vans to rescue you. Hi, I'm Robin Jordan and I invite you to call in and see the friendly team at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library.
World War I was a defining period in our history, impacting greatly on the lives of people from the Nelson Province. Memories of the First World War is an exhibition which will be displayed in a number of regional venues and is currently on at the Nelson Provincial Museum.
We're the team at JCar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics toys,
sound systems, cables and much, much more. JCar.
120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
Hi there, Julian Toon, Waimea Telecommunications. We install and maintain domestic and commercial satellite TV, UHF Freeview and Mainland TV installations in the Nelson, Tasman regions. We specialise in Panasonic telephone systems and provide communications, Wi-Fi, IT and wiring for internet, fibre, computers and DSL systems. At Waimea Telecommunications, we also provide specialist electronic systems for features such as a security camera you can watch on your TV, visitor alert systems and much more. Improve your security and communication and entertainment today. Call us on Waimea Telecommunications on 021 472297, ytel.co.nz.
I'm Larry London from VOA Music Mix, bringing you news on the hour from around the world, plus music 24/7, from the latest hits to those classic favorites to jazz on Saturday mornings, plus much, much more. You can contact us by Googling Mainland TV or follow us on Facebook. Cheers from the team at Mainland Radio 1 and VOA Music Mix.